Hello everyone, this is Colin once again. I'm making this video because I just watched Ahmed's Quran 3's newest video. And his video is called Bilal the Abyssinian. And in this video, he attempts to draw a negative picture, apparently not an original drawing of a negative picture, mind you, because I've heard this argument before. But essentially, if I could break down his argument, and I'm not really going to go through every single one of his points, because this is such an overrated argument against Islam that I feel like I don't want to waste any of our time. But essentially, I'll give him credit, actually. I'll actually give him credit. He actually takes an interesting approach to this topic. The topic in question is Islam and Africans, essentially. And what's interesting is that I made a video not too long. Oh, actually, it's been about almost a year old, I think, called "Islam Against Africans," and it was a video response to another hater here on YouTube, and who happens to be, I think, a fan of Ahmed's Quran 3. What a coincidence there. And in this video, I refuted many of the points raised against this one other hater, saying that Islam was against Africans. And basically, what Ahmed's Quran 3 does, instead of just blatantly saying that Islam is actually against Africans, or that Islam is racist against Africans, but rather he takes an interesting approach in the personhood of Bilal. For those of you who don't know who Bilal is, Bilal he was African, but he was a slave to one of the pagan masters, very abusive master, and Bilal converted to Islam. He knew the Prophet personally, and when he converted, this angered his master, and his master tried to have him killed, but his freedom was bought by Abu Bakr, the first caliph and a close companion of the Prophet Muhammad. So he became a free man, and Ahmed's Quran 3 tells the story very well. That's not his dispute. His dispute, however, is really, he brings up a point. He says that why is it that there aren't that many hadiths narrated by Bilal out of all the authentic traditions in Sahih Bukhari or Sahih Muslim? Why is it? I think he actually gives a number. I think he says there's only 5 hadiths that are credited to the crowning transmitter is Bilal. And he kind of throws that out there and wonders, why is that? Why is that? You know, the thing is, this is a really stupid argument, and the reason why I say that is because there are a lot of very common narrators, Aisha being the most popular one and the most frequent narrator in the hadith collections. But a lot of the sons of companions, there are some core companions that were, and wives of the prophets, that were the most consistent narrators of hadiths. Ironically enough, there are some characters that you would expect to be the key narrators of hadiths, and but you find that they too did not narrate that many hadiths. For an example, Abu Bakr, Umar, Uthman, and Ali are very scarce in their narrations in the authentic hadith collections. Fatima, the daughter of the Prophet Muhammad, she is I can't even think off the top of my head which hadiths she is the chief narrator. So if we take Ahmed's Quran 3's bogus logic, we would have to assume then that if he's really trying to say that because Bilal, there are not that many hadiths credited to Bilal, that therefore somehow Islam is against Africans, that is the most bogus argument I have heard so far by him. Of course, that's not his whole video. I'm only taking a piece of his video. But that is something that he brings up, and I just kind of had to stop and wonder as to what the point of that was. If we take his logic, that means that apparently Islam's against daughters, since Fatima is not really, there's not that many hadiths narrated by Fatima. All these other things. You know, basically the point is, I just think the logic is very illogical. Now, he then goes on to talk about Muslims' role in the slave trade. And again, I'm really picking his video. Again, this is a video that I really just think is irrelevant. But let's talk about the historical relevance to Muslims and the Eastern African slave trade. Now, the thing is that he made a very condescending statement in his video. He said that I think he basically implied that Muslims were going to deny historically, you know, that the Muslims were going to deny that there was ever a East African slave trade at the hands of Arab Muslims, and that there are Arabs that even today that are being racist against Africans and things like this. Now, I'm not quoting him word for word, so please don't say that I here and quote Ahmad's Quran 3, but this is something that he brings up in his video. Well, as a Muslim, I'm here to say that that I don't deny this. I don't deny that there was ever a Muslim, or excuse me, an Arab Muslim slave trade. I don't deny this. Even the Ottoman Turks took part in slave trade. I would even venture to say that even the modern racism done by Arabs against non-Arab Muslims in Africa is also very real. I'm not going to deny that. That is something that is very real to my understanding of history. If I'm wrong, please leave a comment in this comment section. Let me know if I'm wrong about history. But I have no reason to disagree with Ahmad's Quran 3. I don't think any Muslim is going to deny that these are events that happened. What Muslims will deny is that Islam's theology propagates perpetual slavery and or racism. Now, I'm going to put in the description section a link to my video called Islam Against Africans, which is a response to another hater here on YouTube, where I illustrate that Islam does not encourage perpetual slavery, nor does it encourage racism. If anyone is going to say that Islam is for racism, or that Islam is for perpetual slavery, I would challenge the person to show me a single Quranic or authentic hadith narration that actually implies that. According to the book The Reliance of the Traveler, which I have here, which has an article written by the scholars of the Shafi school of thought, they have an article written herein under the article of slavery, and it mentions that this article represents the majority view in all four school of Sunni thoughts and even the main Shia school of thought, that it says that Islam came to slowly eradicate the concept of slavery. It couldn't happen overnight, hence why Islam came and actually added a very humane and very positive outlook on the servanthood of other people. And I would encourage all of you, people who actually respect Islam, even you haters out there, read the Hadiths and Sahih Bukhari and Sahih Muslim in the section about slavery and or servanthood, and see how slaves or servants were to be treated in the early Islamic society. But the scholars have unanimously agreed in the majority of the Hanafi, Hanbali, Maliki, and Shafi school of thought, according to the Reliance of the Traveler's article, that Islam came to eradicate slavery. So what any Muslims have done throughout history, whether they were Ottoman Turks or Arabs or what have you, or the fact that the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, just as of the 1970s, outlawed slavery, that is their individual choices. But that does not reflect the theology of Islam. So I would encourage all of you to look up the references I just gave, Sahih Bukhari, Sahih Muslim, particularly the books about slavery. I would encourage you to look at the article I'm referring to in the Reliance of the Traveler. And also, he says that Bilal is used to convert African Americans in the prison system, you know? And the thing is that I would like to see his evidence for that. I would love to see his statistics for that. That is the reason why African Americans convert to Islam. I would just love to see that statistics, that the Muslims use Bilal for that evidence. Islam it blatantly says is against racism, and I believe this is the reason why many African Americans convert to Islam. But God knows best. And really, I think it's atrocious that Ahmad's Quran 3 apparently tries to use Bilal's character as the reason for why African Americans convert to Islam. I think that's a gross generalization, but then again, Ahmad's Quran 3 is not a stranger to that. Thank you everyone for watching. Peace be with you all.